the hell is this thing? What is this? Hello? Is this thing on? Oh my god, I'm a comedic genius. Don't at me. Don't at me. Please, please don't at me. This feels weird. This feels weird. I haven't done this for a few days. I think the last vlog I filmed was about 4 or 5 days ago. Anyway, guys, over the last few days I've been away racing in the Isle of Man, which, I mean, for the start of things, the Wi-Fi is pretty bad where we were staying, so I wouldn't really have been able to upload the videos too easily anyway. But also, it was pretty intense racing. It was pretty full-on racing every day, so we didn't have a lot of free time. So I didn't have a whole massive amount of time to film these vlogs, so I thought that what I would just do on Monday when I get home, do a little bit of a recap of the weekend. So Thursday night we travelled to the Isle of Man, got there pretty late. Then Friday was stage 1, which was a they called it a kermesse, but it was basically just a longer crit. I think it was around 1 hour and 20 minutes in length around an industrial estate outside a bike shop called Cycle 360. I think the name of the bike shop was. Cool looking bike shop and cafe and stuff. If you're in the Isle of Man, go and check it out. They supported the race. So, however, that race wasn't until 7:30 on Friday night. So in the morning we headed down to a place called Port Erin, which is where stage 2 was, which was an uphill, like a 6.5k uphill time trial on a climb called the Slock. So in the morning we headed out to do that, and this is the footage that I filmed from the reconnaissance of stage 2, which we actually did before stage 1. That sounds pretty confusing. I hope it's not. So let's flash back to then. Good morning and welcome back to the vlog. Welcome to the Isle of Man. We made the journey out here yesterday evening, and this morning we've woken up and we're doing a reconnaissance of the stage 2 uphill time trial from the Manx International race that we're doing this weekend. It's about a 6.5k uphill time trial. We've climbed from the coast right down there, up this hill, and the finish is just up there. Stage 1 is this evening, which is basically a conventional crit. It's like a 1 hour and 15 minute crit. And stage 2, which is tomorrow morning, is this hill climb. So we wanted to get a little bit of a recce so we knew what we were up against tomorrow morning. And man, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard. I believe the KOM is held on this climb by Ben Swift in a time of about 13 minutes. He's quite a lot quicker than he was in the second place, which I believe is Ian Stannard, in around 14 minutes. So the race tomorrow, the time trial, given the wind conditions, I reckon it's gonna be about a 15-16 minute effort. Nice. This weekend is basically gonna be like a mini stage race. We've got a crit tonight, the time trial tomorrow morning, an 80k road race tomorrow afternoon, and Sunday's road race is 3 laps of the TT circuit. Providing the weather stays like this, it's gonna be an absolutely mega weekend of racing. Hopefully, fingers crossed. How'd you make it a climb, mate? Pretty grim, right? It's about 6k longer than I wanted it to be. You didn't even get to the top the second time. What's that all about? Yeah, I've got to fucking, well, I don't think I should eat really from now to tomorrow morning, so no water either, no hydration. It's got to be light as possible. Light as possible. Get the knife out there. So that's the bike ride done and dusted. We just did about an hour this morning, just over an hour, with a couple of times up the hill climb for tomorrow's TT. Just getting a little bit of a look at it. The race today, the stage 1, which is the crit, it's just like they're calling it a kermesse around an industrial estate, but it's basically just a crit. It's not until like 7:30 tonight, which means we've basically got the whole day. So right now it's about mid-afternoon. We're in our Premier Inn. I'm with Ollie. He's there, and we're just kicking back, aren't we, mate? We're just chilling, making a killing with a skilling. I'm just thrilling. No. So for those of you that don't know, the Isle of Man is a pretty small island based between England and Ireland. It's about 35 miles tall by 15 miles wide, I believe. So even though it's a stage race, we're staying in the same hotel for the duration of the trip. Oh, sorry. All right, so we're rolling out of Douglas right now with the boys, heading to the race HQ for stage number 1. It's only about a 10-minute ride, so you're gonna use it as a little bit of a warm-up rather than drive out, because also the weather's nice, so why not, hey? We're in the Isle of Man and it's sunny. These things don't happen very often. Look at this, absolutely lovely. Riding down by the docks. What about it? Okay, so once the reconnaissance was done, we headed back to the hotel and just got the feet up and chilled out for the rest of the afternoon ahead of the crit in the evening. It was a pretty standard crit, not a lot happened. There was a few crashes. It was pretty much a completely untechnical circuit. There's no dead turns. The whole circuit flowed. It was a nice little crit circuit, actually, nice wide roads, nothing too tight or technical. All of us boys, all of the St. Piran boys, managed to avoid the crashes that did happen, and we all just finished in the bunch, somewhere in the bunch. So for the GC, for the overall, everyone was pretty much on the same time overall. I mean, there was a couple of time bonuses for the front, and there was like a few 1 or 2 second splits within the bunch, just because the finish was like out of a corner, up a little bit of a drag. But for the most part, everyone was around, 10 seconds of the leader. So Lexi has been very annoying, just dropping this stick in front of me every few hundred meters. I'm trying to tell the vlog the story of the Isle of Man, the Manx International race at the weekend. Do you mind messing with that stick, please, whilst I'm trying to have a serious conversation with the peoples? So that was stage 1 done and dusted. Stage 2, which was first thing on the Saturday morning, which was the 6.5k uphill time trial. This is where the GC really took shape. For me personally, I was a little bit disappointed in the uphill time trial. I thought that I would go better than I would. I finished it in a time of 15 minutes and 17 seconds off the top of my head, and in terms of like power and stuff, I averaged 3.75, which is quite a bit lower than like what I know that I can physically do when I'm on my best form. So yeah, a little bit disappointed with the time trial. I think I finished at like 50th out of 80. So yeah, really not a great position for me personally in the uphill time trial. In better news though, Steve I think finished 5th or maybe 6th on the stage in a time of about 14.5 minutes. However, the stage was eventually won by Matt Holmes from Madison Genesis, who then went on to be the overall winner of the race. Stage 3, which was in the afternoon of the time trial. All right, can we take a minute to appreciate there was 3 stages within 24 hours? That is crazy. But it was pretty much a pan flat 100k race. It was fast. It was a fast course. Again, it was completely untechnical, and there was talk that potentially the GC could get shaken up on this course due to the crosswinds. However, the crosswinds never prevailed, and it was never windy enough for the race to be split. So the breakaway went. We had Joe Evans in the breakaway, along with about 3 other guys. It was pretty much a standard race. The break was allowed to get 1 minute, and then Madison Genesis pretty much controlled the race for Matt Holmes for the remainder of that particular stage. The break got brought back around 2 laps to go, 1.5 laps to go. Within the last lap, Ollie decided to go for a bit of a flyer. He attacked solo, stayed away for about maybe a K. But the teams with the sprinters, so Canyon and also Vitus, who were riding for Ed Clancy, they were driving the pace in the front, so nothing, no attacks could get away. It was fast. My job for this stage was to get Will into a good position for the sprint. He's probably the best sprinter on our team, so my job was to get Will in a good position for the sprint. I feel like we were in a pretty good position, in the last K. I was right up at the front. However, unfortunately, within that last kilometre, Will got distance from my back wheel. I think he just got squeezed out or something. These things happen. Oh, yeah, nice one. Cheers, mate. So when you're the last man, you're basically sprinting for the line anyway. So I think I ended up coming in about 17th or 18th. So yeah, it wasn't a bad stage 3. I think that's like the highest I've ever positioned it myself in a bunch sprint. So it was nice to like get that practice of just fighting and jostling for position, and knowing which wheels to follow and which lines to take in that last couple of K. It's basically like a boxing match. Like there's headbutting, there's elbowing, there's people fighting for gaps and positions. It is effing carnage, but yeah, it was good fun, and I loved getting stuck in and having a little bit of practice at doing that, because I haven't really fought myself in a proper bunch sprint yet. I've only kind of done it in a local crit or from a 5 or 6 man breakaway, which is a completely different ball game. So that was good fun. After stage 3, we went back to the hotel, and stage 4, which was on day 3, which was yesterday, Sunday, that was the main stage of the whole race, and that's where the race is going to be won or lost. It was 3 laps of the iconic Isle of Man TT circuit, which for those of you that don't know, it's a 35.6 mile circuit off the top of my head. I feel like that might be wrong. Maybe it's 36.5, something like that. Anyway, it was 3 laps of that. So it was a 113 mile race, or 180 kilometers if you're going to be working in new money. It had a smaller climb of around 5 minutes partway around the circuit, but the main climb on the circuit is called, it's rightly nicknamed, the Mountain, or to give it its full name, is called the Snaefell Pass, or the Snaefell Mountain, or Snaefell Road, something involving the word Snaefell. It was basically from the bottom to the top. It's about a 20-minute climb, but the first 10 minutes is where it's real steep, and that's where the damage is done, and that's the hardest part of the climb. Obviously, we had Steve up there in 6th position on GC overall, so the main priority of the day was to help him out. The objective was to get someone in the early breakaway, so we've got someone ahead of the race for when Steve you know, if he attacks or something. Unfortunately, we didn't do that. We were jumping with all the moves, but we just unfortunately missed the one that the brake went. I tried to get across to it with a couple of other guys, but it just wasn't to be. So yeah, we tried to tuck ourselves in nicely in the bunch to wait for the race to kind of kick off later on. It sort of kicked off on the second lap, but not completely. But unfortunately, that's where me, Ollie and Joe, all three of us just got dropped. I mean, Joe got dropped later on and towards the top of the climb, but yeah, for three of us, we just all went bang on that second lap, unfortunately. So it's just Steve left in the race with Will. The final time at the climbs when it really kicked off. Matt Holmes, who was in the leader's jersey, he attacked on that climb and ended up going solo and basically just crossing the line on his own in the leader's jersey. So he kind of reinstated his dominance in the race, and he just showed to everyone that he was the strongest rider, you know, backing up the hill climb win with a solo finish. I think Steve eventually came across the line on that stage in 16th position. Will was in 12th, so Steve dropped down to I think 10th overall. So I mean, yeah, it was a solid 3 days of racing. I'm pretty disappointed with myself, like with my own performances. But hey, racing's racing, and there's a few horses. Oh, okay. Let's be friendly. I kind of want to stroke them, but then I also kind of don't, because I don't want to get a ringworm. Are you dirty or are you clean? All right, my mum always told me not to go behind a horse's legs, so I'm not going to go behind there. I don't want you to kick me. So yeah, there's certainly some positives to take from the weekend, but you know, there's also some negatives and some things that I need to work on. I'm not going to lie, I'm pretty happy now that I've got a couple of weeks before the next big race. I mean, I'm racing this weekend, but it's only I mean, I call it a low-key crit. It's not a low-key crit. It's a crit called the Staffordshire Cycling Festival, but it's not part of the national series. So in comparison to like those races, it is a little bit more low-key. But it'll be nice to do. And then after that, next weekend, or the following weekend, which is in 2 weeks' time, we're heading to France. We've got a couple of UCI races in France to do, and then a Kermesse in Belgium. So it should be a cool little trip abroad. But honestly, I'm going to be looking forward to these next couple of weeks and just getting some solid training in and just having fun on the bike and just not worrying about and not having the pressures and stresses of racing. I think at this time of the year, it's what I need. I mean, today's Monday. We got home late last night, like 2 a.m. and today I feel absolutely wrecked. But I think it's just that time of the year where like recovery starts to slow up a little bit. And, you know, generally after racing and after hard efforts and stuff, you're just a bit more tired. So yeah, this is my dog walk, and that is the Isle of Man GP, or the Manx International 2019 summed up. It was an awesome race, greatly organised. Isle of Man's an amazing place to ride when the weather was nice. I mean, Sunday got a little bit treacherous on that mountain. There was some low cloud cover and the visibility was down to about 10 meters. But hey, beggars can't be choosers. This morning we're back in the north of England, and you already know the sun's back out for us. The dogs are enjoying the sunshine. I'm enjoying the dog walk, and it's a good start to the week. No prizes for guessing that today is a rest day and I'm not riding my road bike today. But about 5 minutes from where I live, there's local woods, there's a couple of trails and a few jumps and stuff. So I'm on the MTB rig. I haven't ridden this thing in forever, and I feel like it gets wasted. Now, I should have planned this a little bit better and gone to like a mountain bike park or something, but I haven't. Plus I'm tired, so I'm gonna cruise down to the woods right now on the mountain bike. I've got Lexi with me as well. I'm going this way. I mean, it's not the most exciting trail in the world, but I've got my GoPro on. Let's go and have a little bit of fun. All right, so here we are. We got three little tabletops / double things. Back when I was a youth, back when I raced BMX race, I used to come here with my mates all the time. And I remember thinking these jumps were like huge. And now I'm stood here thinking, what is going on here? These things are tiny, but as you can see, they're a little bit neglected these days. Don't really get the use that they used to. But we are dropping in. Way! Woo! Woo! Oh man, they're still sick. There's a little double. Woo! I miss jumping bikes, man. It's one thing I miss about BMX racing. Jumping the bikes. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Woo! Look at that one run and Lex is out of breath, man. All right, we're gonna try and do the same now, but higher. So we need to go slower and pull up more. Go! Woo! Yo! All right, completely cased that last one. This time, let's try and get it big and smooth. Big and smooth, that's all we want. Yo! Ah, that was better. Now, I haven't been here on my bike in quite a long time, but down here I think, so there's those three little tabletops back there. And down here, oh man, it's so neglected now. Look at it, it's just all overgrown. Oh, okay, so we can't hit this one because this will hurt. We used to come flying down here, hop off this little hip, it used to be like a hip, drop in about there, and then do the little river jump down there. But unfortunately, nowadays, there's a bloody tree in the way, so we can't go that way because that'll hurt my head. That won't be too good for Ed. I'm pretty sure there also used to be like a gap jump that started at the top here and went about there, down the side of the little hill there, and then was at the bottom of the hill. But as you can see, again, it's just been neglected and it's all overgrown and there's nothing there now. Such a shame. It's such a shame that it doesn't get used anymore. Everyone just stays at home nowadays and plays Fortnite and watches YouTube videos. Back in my day, we used to sit there on our bicycles, drop down this hill, jump the 3 jumps, and just have a bit of fun with our mates. But no, nowadays this place is empty. All right, are you ready to see some sick air? I mean some sick air. Let's do this. Come on. Bosh, spent an hour or two this afternoon cleaning not only my race bike after a wet weekend of racing in the Isle of Man, but also the mountain bike whip. It was absolutely filthy, but she's looking not good as new, but she's looking pretty clean right now. Nothing better than a couple of clean bikes. Bosh. Alright, it's the following morning, and I kind of wanted to end this video yesterday on a positive note. We'd had a good day getting back from the Isle of Man, heading out on my mountain bike and just kind of enjoying my day off the bike. But unfortunately, like, today has been completely overshadowed by the unfortunate death of Bjorg Lampret, the Belgian rider that rode for Lotto Soudal, who unfortunately crashed during stage 3 of the Tour of Poland today or yesterday. And due to those crashes, like I'm sure you've seen over social media and stuff, he unfortunately passed away as a result of his crashes. And I went out for dinner last night with a couple of friends, and one of the guys there, he knew Bjorg, and he was kind of complimenting him and saying how much of a nice guy he is in races and how talented he is on the bike and even off the bike. You know, apparently he's a real cool, just down to earth nice guy. And yeah, man, I just want to kind of express my sympathies and say that it sucks. Like, it really does suck. And I mean, it just goes to show like what these guys put themselves through every single day and the risks that they take in order to be a professional athlete. And never take your days for granted. Always make the most of every single day that you get to walk on this planet. And yeah, if you're heading out on your bike today, stay safe, look after yourself, get back home safely, don't take any unnecessary risks or anything like that. And yeah, guys, thank you for watching today's video. My deepest sympathies and thoughts and prayers go out to Bjorg Lampert's family and friends. And yeah, guys, I'll see you in my next video. Peace.